Good morning, and welcome. I am Jody with Tired Mom School Digital on a journey. Good morning, and welcome. I am Jody with Tired Mom School Digital on a journey towards financial. I'm also here to help you on your journey towards financial freedom the right way, because a lot of creators are bragging about how easy it is to start an online business, but the reality is that it does take time. And today I am super excited because I am going to be talking about content pillars and the foundations of content pillars, which is very important in the online space to make your life easier on how to stay consistent, how to stay committed, and how to create content that connects with your ideal target audience. So I know at the beginning of my journey, I had no idea what content pillars were. So the only kind of content that I was creating was reselling a course, right? That's the only kind of content, Melanie, good morning, Sophia, good morning. That was the only kind of content I was creating, was promotional kind of content. It took me about, I want to say, 7 months of being in this online space to understand what content pillars were and that I needed content pillars. I was like, wait a minute. And if you are a beginner in the digital marketing space that has no idea what to post, you have no idea what kind of content you should be creating, you run out of ideas right away, then let me tell you one thing. Then you need to stick around for this live, because this live is going to teach you the basics of what content pillars are, right? Why you need them in your online business, right? And how you're never going to grow out of ideas. Like, content pillars, all you have to do once you have your content pillars figured out is tell ChatGPT to just create. Tell ChatGPT, hey, these are my content pillars, right? I need you to give me content idea for the week, or whatever it is, whatever you want, or give me 2 real ideas, and mix up the content pillars. As for me, I'm going to give you an example. I have 4 content pillars. I've seen people have I've seen people have 2 to 3 content pillars. I've also seen people have 6 content pillars. You need to understand that based on the content pillars, the amount of content pillars you have, you just are going to have a variety of content and not just you coming out here reselling a course. Okay, so that is why it's very important. Tiffany, good morning. Good morning, Tiff. How's it going? I love that you are right on time. Right on time, because I am playing no game today. Today we are going hard with the content pillars. Mo, good morning. I'm gonna wait like 5 minutes, Tiff, just to give some of the other ladies, time to join. But I'm gonna get started right away after the 5 minutes because, I do have to drive to the office, but I kind of wanted to jump in a little bit early to kind of explain just the basics of content pillars, and how content pillars just made it easier once I identified what my content pillars were to never run out of ideas. Because at the beginning of my journey, I'm not gonna lie, I never knew what kind of content to create. Not only did I not know what kind of content to create, it was just like, oh my God, here I am. I have to create content again. And I just never had a clear understanding, right? So because I knew no better, unfortunately, the only kind of content that I was creating was reselling a course. Just literally coming out here, shoving a course down people's throats, telling them that they needed a course. If they wanted to make money online, I was unfortunately that person that was telling you only need 1 to 2 hours a day. But guess what? Because I was seeing other creators that were very successful doing the same thing. You only need 1 to 2 hours a day, and the promotional content. Exactly, Tiff. And the reality is that is not true. But I did not have anyone, I didn't have a mentee tell me, hey, you need content pillars. When you have content pillars, it's going to be easy for you to come up with content. I didn't have any of that, right? And remember, again, Daphne, good morning. I did not identify my content pillars till 7 months into this journey. Okay, 7 months into my digital marketing business, I did not understand. I didn't even know that content pillars were a thing. So, because I used to do a lot of research, right, to educate myself because I really wanted to learn the right way. I bumped into this other digital marketing that used to do a lot of like educational content, and she was talking about content pillars, and I'm like, shut the front door. No way. And when I saw that video, I was like, oh my God, I need content pillars. And then I had to do even more research because I'm like, what kind of content pillars do I want? What kind of content? And it's not just about the kind of content that you're going to be creating, right? It's what authority do you have, right? It all comes from like knowledge and understanding what you're doing to then have the confidence to show up for your people and educate them. So I went, oh, I'm in the right place. I agree 100%. I had to be in it to work it out. Exactly. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, boy mama for the follow. You know what I mean? But I didn't understand that before. Okay. And I did not understand. It's never too late, right? Because when you start a business, there's going to be a lot of trial and error. And that was me at the beginning. I didn't know. So the only type of content, like Tiffany said, I was only doing promotional content. I was promoting my product. I was telling people, you need this product. Like, you need this course, but I wasn't saying how that course was going to be the solution, Sandy, good morning, to the pain that they were feeling. And then I'm like, okay, and I started playing around, right? So I am a person that I love to teach. So I already knew that education had to be one of my content pillars, right? So here I am now. I have promotional, because if you are in this online space and you are reselling a course, you are going to have the promotional content pillar. Like, hands down, that is going to be one of your content pillars, okay? Now, I'm like, okay, so I have a promotional, I have educational, I want to tell my story, right? So then I'm like, I want to be able to tell my story, because when I tell my story, people are going to be able to connect with me. People are going to be able to understand why I started, understand where was I before I started this journey, right? So I need, Lucinda, good morning. I need now the entertainment content pillar, right? Because under entertainment, I'm bringing them behind the scene of maybe a day in a life working with me. I'm storytelling. I'm talking about personal things, love learning on my drive to work. You are most welcome, Sandy. I love it. Right? So that is exactly what I did. And I'm like, okay, I also love to motivate people, right? And I'm like, I want to motivate people by doing quotes, affirmations, giving them that sense of encouragement that they need. So I'm like, so I need one more content pillar. And that's where I said, I'm going to do engage, right? Because I want them to feel, when I come out here and educate you, I want you to feel like you are going to conquer the world. And from what you guys tell me, that is the feeling that I'm giving you, right? Okay, so we are at the 5-minute mark. So I am going to get this started. All you have to do is tap that screen, show your girl some love. If you are driving, safety first, right? But tap that screen. I'm going to get this started because this is just going to be like a straight to the point hour live. And don't forget that tomorrow we are coming on for part 2. Let me just take a sip of my water quickly. Okay, so in today's live, we are going to be talking content pillars one-on-one, right? The foundation, right, of your digital marketing success, right? So today's live is going to be all about content pillars, but the basics, right? We're going to break it down in a way that makes sense for you. I'm not going to give you big words. I'm not going to make this complicated for you. I want to dummy it down, because a lot of us, right, if we don't have examples and we don't dummy down the information, we are not going to understand how important this is, right? So I like to simplify things, right? So that when I come and I give you this information, you're like, no way, wow, it was that simple, right? So that's exactly what we're gonna do, right? This is part 1 of a part 2 series. Today we're gonna focus on what content pillars are. why they matter, why every digital marketer should be using them, and how you can figure out yours. Even if you are just starting out, or even if you are a seasoned digital marketing that has no idea, like me, right? I was 7 months in, no idea what content pillars were. You're never too late, okay, to apply this, okay? And then tomorrow we're diving into real examples by niche and persona, okay? So tomorrow I give you examples putting everything together, okay? So what are content pillars? All right, let's start with the basics. What even are content pillars, right? The aim of using content pillars is to cover key themes in depth, right? To demonstrate expertise. You will post these topics on your website, on your social media platforms, on your storefront, whatever it is, and any other relevant platform that you want to drive traffic to, okay? Think of content pillars like the core themes or topics you are going to be talking about on repeat. Like, it's going to be repetitive, right? If repetitive content, but you are going to be known for these topics, right? These are 3 to 5 main ideas, and your entire brand is going to be built around, okay? They're the big categories you always go back to, so your audience know what to expect from you, okay? So for example, if you are a digital marketing coach or a digital marketing mentor like me, my pillars could look like this, right? Mindset, digital marketing strategy. I teach you passive income, mompreneur talk because I'm a mom, right? And I'm also an entrepreneur, or personal development, right? That's just an idea, right? Content pillars help you stay in your lane while showing up consistently, right? You don't want to be talking about skincare one day and plumbing the next, right? Because you're going to be all over the place. We're not here to confuse the algorithm or our audience, right? And that's why content pillars are important, right? Getting your content seen by the right audience is the goal of any digital marketer out there. It's about creating great content that informs, entertains, but more importantly, it's relevant and educates, okay? That's always been a challenge when creating content, right? It may be beautifully written, but if your audience isn't looking for it, then it won't drive traffic or generate leads, or it's not going to get the engagement that you want, right? So you need to also be in alignment with the content pillars that you decide to go with, right? But it's not just about your audience, right? You need to also consider the algorithm, right? Not only focus, right, on just like what everyone else is doing, right? You need to understand that the search engine, now every platform is a search engine, right? So you need to understand, right? So if people are now using search engines to see what's trending or what's not, that's where you need to become that authority for that topic and under that content pillar, okay? That's why you need to create content pillars. They are the foundation of a successful content marketing plan, as they help you drive organic traffic and rank on social media engines, okay? That is why you need content pillars, okay? And that is what content pillars are. Now, let's talk about why are content pillars important. Let's get into why content pillars matter so much, right? Because every time I see here, I see people in my live talking about, I don't know, this is like, when I tell you that I hear this on a regular basis, like every week I hear this, I don't know what kind of content to create. I don't know what kind of content to create. Can you believe that when I ask these individuals, do you know what content pillars are? Their response is no. Okay, like Brina, Bilingual Education, good morning. Their response is no. They have no idea. Danielle, good morning, what content pillars are. Guys, I need you to understand that when you have content pillars, you are never, okay, never, let me repeat this again, you are never going to run out of content ideas, okay? Now, let me just say, everything changes, right? Content pillars matter so much because once you get it, everything changes. It's like showing up to a party knowing what to talk about versus just rambling, right? So understanding your content pillar in your digital marketing business, right, is going to put you ahead because you know what kind of content you should be creating. You have a mixture of content that you're going to be creating. You're going to be an authority figure for multiple topics, right? But if you are just throwing content to throw content and you're just copying other creators, you are never going to stand out, right? You're never going to stand out. Allison, thank you for the follow. You're never going to stand out. So why are content pillars important? Right? I have six main things, right, that I'm going to go over. Number one, they give you direction, okay? Content pillars are like your GPS. Without them, you're just posting random stuff, hoping it sticks, right? And we are not going to be out here throwing spaghettis at the wall. No, that's not us. We are all about strategy here. But with pillars, right, you know exactly what you're showing up to talk about. No more staring at a blank screen like, what the heck do I post today? No more, I don't know. I don't want excuses of I don't know what to post today, right? Because once you have that content pillar, you can just like rinse, repeat. And that's why you need to be leveraging AI with your content pillars. You literally tell ChatGPT, these are my content pillars. I need 1 to 2 reels per day with a mixture of my content pillars, okay? And ChatGPT can give it to you in a table format with the hook, with the script if you want to do a talking video, with the text on screen, with B-roll information, with hashtags and SEO keywords, and even your captions, okay? Okay, like let me just say here, right here, you are overcomplicating this situation. Lean on ChatGPT, period. Okay, 1 second. Okay, so number 2, right? They keep you consistent. Consistency builds trust, right? Trust builds authority. Authority brings sales. Period. No other way to put it, right? When your content has structure, your audience starts to expect it and they start showing up for it, right? You become, right, known for certain things, right? That's how you go from just another account to, oh, that's the girl who always talks about XYZ. Why do you guys keep coming back to my lives? I want one of you, any of you, to drop in the comment why you guys come back into my lives. What is it? What is it that attracts you to come back to my life? Is it the knowledge that I have? Is it the fact that I am always educating you? What is it, right? You guys come to me because I know what I'm talking about, right? And that all comes from me taking the time, right, to learn, right? And I'm building that trust, right, that consistency with you guys by showing up and educating you every week that I go live. Okay, Sarah, good morning. Right? So that is exactly what you want to build as well. For me, it's the knowledge and consistency. You don't sugarcoat things, straightforward. You know what I mean? Inspiration. And that is exactly, you guys come to me for a reason. But I have built that trust with you by educating you. And that is exactly why content pillars, again, are important, right? They keep you consistent because you are never going to run out of ideas, right? Once you have your content pillars identified, right? Number 3, they make content batching easier. If you ever wanted to sit down and batch a week of content but didn't know where to start, pillars solve that issue for you. You just rotate through them. It's like having categories in a menu makes everything faster and so much easier. Yes, thank you, Sandy. You know what I mean? It just makes things so much easier for you. Okay, so let's just say, for example, right? You want to batch create your content, because thank you so much for the follow. You have no idea, right? You want to batch create content, but you don't know what kind of content you should be spitting out. Let's just say that you are a motivational, you're in the motivational and mindset, right? So your content pillars should probably look like motivation and inspirational, right? They should be promotional, right? Because I know you're going to be promoting something to help with mental health or motivation, whatever it is, right? And maybe educational, right? So you're going to take maybe Saturdays or Sundays, and you're gonna block a few hours that day that you are just gonna focus, Elise, good morning, that you're gonna focus, right, on batch creating content. Okay, if you are a face forward account like me, right, I'm just like all over my house. I record myself with my laptop, with my iPad, with my phone, just little clips, right? And then I use them, right? And then I ask ChatGPT to give me the ideas, right? So that then I can relive, right? I can just use all those contents that I created, right? And it all depends, right, on what I am trying to portray, right? Is this gonna be a storytelling post? Is this going to be an educational post, right? But it all comes back, right? You can't batch create content if you have no idea what your pillars are. You need to figure those out first, okay? Essay, good morning, right? Number 4, right? They help with engagement. When your content is organized and relevant to your audience, they engage more. Why? Because you're solving their problems, you're inspiring them, and you're keeping it interesting, all within the same themes. You're not a hot mess. You're not all over the place. If you guys take a time one day, right, and you go into my TikTok account and you scroll all the way down and you see what my content looked like before I understood what content pillars were, you guys are going to be like, okay, I have hope. I always love using myself as an example, okay? You are going to understand, right? I was all over the place. All over the place. And I purposely left those videos there because I need you all to understand that it takes time to get somewhere. It takes time. And it took me time. But once I figured that out, hey, I'm no longer struggling. I'm no longer pulling my hair and trying to figure out, well, what am I going to talk about today? What am I going to talk about this week, right? And that is why you need content pillars, okay? Number 5, they attract the right people. You don't want, right? Pebbles, good morning. You don't want to go viral for the wrong thing. I say this all the time. You want growth aligned with your offers and your audience. Content pillars help you attract the people who will vibe with your message and want to buy from you. A lot of people want to go viral, and that is one thing that I am okay, right? I haven't went viral, maybe a couple of videos, yes, on TikTok, but not viral to the sense that I've gotten like thousands of followers. And I am okay with that because a lot of people go viral for the wrong reasons, and then they have all these followers that absolutely do nothing in their account. You don't want to have 5,000 followers and only get engagement from maybe 400 people. When I post content, I sit down and I like to think about, what do I want people to get out of this post? What is my messaging? Am I educating? Am I storytelling? Am I motivating? Whatever it is, you need to sit down and analyze what you want people to get out of that specific post before you post, okay? And it's gonna get to the point that the more you do it, the more repetitive you are, because remember, you're gonna post within your content pillars. It's gonna be second nature. So you won't have to really sit down and analyze too much, because you're already going to know. Like you when you start brainstorming in that brain, let me tell you, you're never going to run out of content ideas. It's like every probably couple of days, you're going to be like, oh my God, I can talk about this. Oh my God, I could do this, right? So that is why understanding your content pillars, right, is going to benefit you, right? From the stressor of, what kind of content do I create? What do I post today? What do I want to talk about today? I have nothing to talk about. I don't know what to do today. No more excuses, okay? Number 6, right? They build, and this is like my absolute favorite, and that's why I left it last. They build a cohesive brand. You want people to land on your profile and immediately get who you are, what you do, and who you help, right? Your pillars give your brand a heartbeat. It's what keeps your message consistent across TikTok, IG, Threads, YouTube, you name it. You guys might think that branding has to do with just your colors, what your website looks like. No, but it goes deeper than that. It also has to do with the kind of messaging and the content that you are creating. Okay? So let me just say this like this, right? Content pillars are the difference between showing up as a creator and showing up as a brand. Okay? Plus, they help you attract the right people. You don't want everyone. You want the right ones, okay? The ones who vibe with your message, right? The ones who need your products and eventually become customers, right? I just tried this on ChatGPT. See what I mean? See what I mean? You guys don't listen. You guys don't listen, but when you guys do listen to me, you're going to be shocked. You're going to be shocked. So I am going to pause there for a minute and see if anybody has any questions about content pillars. Chris, good morning. Good morning. Olga, good morning. Does anybody have any questions, or you want me to continue? Or are you understanding? Am I going too fast? Please let me know. Let me know. We have time. We have time. We have about 40 minutes. Faith, good morning. No questions? Okay, I am going to continue. Okay. Why do digital marketers need content pillars? Okay. Love your lives because I learn nuggets. Thank you so much for saying that. That is the reason why I come out here and I serve you guys. So thank you. Thank you. Make sure you guys are tapping that screen. We need to get to 20K today, period. So tap away because I am literally preaching right now, right? So why do digital marketers need content pillars, right? Thank you, Chris, for my heart puffs. Thank you. Now let's break down why us digital marketers, especially, right, need to have this on lock. Thank you, Chris, right? Why? Because we are constantly trying to build trust, position ourselves as experts, make sales without being salesy, right? So number one, we're selling transformation, not just products, right? People aren't buying your course or your offer just because it's cute. Olga, thank you for the follow. Just because it's trending, just because everyone has it, right? They're buying because they believe it will change their life, right? And your content pillars are how you show them that transformation over time, whether you're educating, entertaining, or promoting. It's all about planting seeds. Right? It is all about planting seeds, because remember, when you show up consistently, when you show up authentically you and you start planting those seeds, people start to build that like trust factor with you, right? And that is what you want to be, the authority figure for them. So again, that is why us digital marketers, we need content pillars. Without content pillars, you guys are going to look like me, right? As me, the beginner who was just throwing spaghetti at the wall, right? And not only throwing spaghetti at the walls, I was just promoting a product because I knew no better. But I'm telling you, it doesn't matter where in your journey you are, you need to adapt and figure out what content pillars you want, what themes, what subject matter experts are you that you want to show people, right? So again, if you want to build that trust from people to eventually convert them into clients, that's how you're going to be able to do that. Okay. Number 2, the market is noisy as fuck. And I'm sorry I had to throw that curse word in there because I couldn't put it any other way for you guys to really feel what I'm talking about. Let's be real. Digital marketing is booming, right? The digital marketing industry is going to be worth billions by 2026, which can I say is literally right around the corner, especially like these months are passing by, right? And trillions by 2030, which means everyone and their cousin is trying to do digital marketing, okay? So your pillars, right, help you stand out because they give you your own lane. And when you stay in your own lane, you get to be known for something, okay? Known. Can I just repeat that word? Known, right? We're not going to be out here. I don't teach you to come out here and copy what everyone else is doing. I say you can definitely use other creators as inspo, right? But we need to show our personality, right? There is only, it could, somebody, Tiffany, I'm going to use Tiff can go out there and replicate everything I am doing, but people might not resonate with her because maybe my vibes, right, doesn't resonate with her target audience, right? So you need to find what works for you. I'm going to tell you a little story because I really need you to understand why this is so important. When I started in the online space, right, and a lot of you have heard the stories, but for those that haven't, I'm gonna tell it again, right? I paid a mentor a lot of money. Yes, authenticity. Erica, good morning. I paid a mentor a lot of money, right, for that mentor to tell me that I was too much. Okay, I was too much. I had to tone it down. So don't ever, Melanie, good morning, let somebody tell you that you are too much. If you are energetic, if you are, introverted, I want you to show up authentically you. Okay, I cannot believe when I think about it, I get so mad. Okay, I get so mad. Let me tell you when I really started building those connections online, when I came out as me, authentically me, just like somebody that doesn't gatekeep, somebody that doesn't sugarcoat, somebody that tells you exactly how it is, right? Sometimes I might hurt your feelings, and I promise you, I don't do it on purpose. Right? I do it because I know what I'm talking about. I've been in this space long enough to know exactly what I'm talking about. So I have to give you that tough love. Okay? So again, you are going to stay in your own lane by being authentically you. Just what Tiffany dropped in the comment. Authenticity matters, believe it or not. Okay? Number 3, authority positioning matters, right? If you want people to see you as they go to, you have to be intentional about what you teach, okay? What you share and how you present it. When your pillars align with your offers, you become an expert in your niche. People trust experts, right? They're not going to go to somebody else, right? I see people scrolling all the time and they say, well, I jumped in your live because I needed to hear that, or what you were teaching I never heard before, right? So right there, I am building trust with them because they are paying attention to what I'm saying. Okay, so that is the same thing that you want to be doing, right? Your brand, right? You want to build a brand, not a one-hit wonder. Okay, going viral again is cute, right? But we're here for longevity, and a lot of people don't see it like that. A lot of people just want to make a shit ton of money. A lot of people just want to, go viral, right? And for what? If you're not converting all those followers that you have, then what is the point of wanting to go viral? Right? What is the point? Right? So your pillars create a brand that lasts, right? And I tell you guys all the time, we are doing this business. We want it to be a long-term business, right? A business that lasts, not a one-hit wonder, or not a business that is going to make us a shit ton of money for a couple of months and then we're dead. Like nobody ever knows who Chris is, who Tiffany is, right? Who Jody is. We don't want that. We want to be known, and we want people constantly coming back for us, right? They give your content a long-term vision. So you're not just chasing views, you're building a business, right? You're treating it like a business also, not a hobby, right? Number 5, you're not just here to post, right? Digital marketers need content to do 3 things, right? Build relationships, convert followers into buyers, and position your offers as the solution. Okay, that's what our pillars should be doing, right? Your pillars help you do that without sounding salesy or fake, right? Because remember, you're the authority figure here. You're not winging it, you're serving, showing up, and stacking value. Remember when I tell you, one thing I tell you, mind your business and focus on serving. When you focus on serving, I promise you that the magic will happen, okay? Let's go to number 6. You're juggling a lot, right? So let's be honest, most of us are moms, 9-to-5ers, stay-at-home moms, side hustlers, wives, caretakers, caregivers, all these things, right? Content pillars simplify your life. They give your brain a framework. You'll save time, reduce stress, and stay consistent, which is exactly what leads to sale. Consistency matters, right? And I tell you, I am never going to be that person that is going to tell you, you need to be posting 3 times a day. Gwen, good morning. I am never going to tell you, you need to be posting 10 times a day or 3 times a day. No. I need you showing up, whether that's going live, whether that's in your stories, whether that's by posting a reel. You need to take this serious and you need to be showing up every single day, whatever that looks like. For me, sometimes showing up every day, I post 1 reel, I go live, and I post in my stories. Right? But I find the time, I make it work, right? For you, that might not be the case. Thank you, Gwen, for my heart me. For me, that for you, that might not be the case. But when I tell you that you need to listen to me and show up in whatever format you can once a day, you need to really listen and show up, okay? If you're going to show up in your stories, don't just post 1 single story. Post like a couple of stories, right? It could be you making your coffee. It could be you walking outside. It could be you walking the dog. It could be you getting ready for your day, whatever it is. But I need you to show up for you. Are you treating this business like a business or a hobby? Consistency has a lot to do with this business working how you want it to work, okay? When you have clear content pillars, right, your content starts working for you. It educates, entertains, and sells without screaming, buy from me, hey, me, right? And that's why it is so important. And it also helps the algorithm categorize your content, right? Because remember what I said at the beginning of this live, right? That TikTok, all these platforms are now search engine, right? So when people go search, right? When people go search, what are content pillars, right? Maybe you learn what content pillars are and you went ahead and you created a video, right? You want to make sure that your video is at the top of explaining what content pillars are and why every digital marketer should have them. Okay, am I making sense or am I not making sense here? Please hold. I need to take a sip of my water. Please hold. So once again, right, it helps get your content categorized. That's how you get pushed to the right people on TikTok, IG, YouTube, Threads, everywhere. Okay. So I'm going to pause there and see if anybody has any questions on still understanding why us digital marketers need content pillars, or if you have any questions at all, please ask away. Thank you so much for the follow, the organized housewife. If not, I am going to continue to how to identify your content pillars. And make sure you guys are tapping that screen. I have about 20 minutes left and I cannot believe we are still not at 20K. Okay, no questions, so I'm going to continue. How to identify your content pillars. Let's get into the juicy part because I know that's exactly what you guys want to know. How do you even figure out your content pillars, okay? As content pillars are related to searcher intent, right? It's important to create your content pillars around your audience, right? You want to review your buyer personas to see who you need to talk to and what their pain points are. If you don't know your persona, start by searching them, okay? And what is a persona? You are probably asking yourself. A persona is your target audience, right? Your persona is yourself. Remember, we spoke about this a few weeks ago, right? If you want to understand who your persona is, just grab a mirror and look at yourself in the mirror, because nobody other than yourself can speak on the pain, right? And the desires that you are feeling. So let me go a little bit deeper into this for you to understand exactly what I'm talking about. My persona is me, a burnt out working mom that is tired of living paycheck to paycheck, that is tired of missing out on family time or on kids' activity, right? That is tired of having to budget every single dime, right? Maybe I'm tired of budgeting in my Starbucks coffee, whatever it is, right? So when I go target my persona, I am going to speak on the same pain points that I am feeling, right? And if you are a burnt out working mom like me, if I come out here and I create a piece of content that says, if you're tired of living paycheck to paycheck, you're going to be like, is she talking to me? And that is the power of understanding your persona. Okay, so maybe start there, right? So that once you understand your persona, then you can really figure out then what pillars are you going to work with to really, really target your ideal persona, target audience, okay? So once you know your audience and understand the content they want, it's time to develop a content pillar strategy. You want to identify your pillars, and I want you to keep them between 3 and 5, right? Remember that if you are out here reselling a course or selling some sort of product, then promotional is going to be one of your content pillars, okay? So if you're going to keep them between 3 and 5, then I'm going to give you an example. I have 4. T-Mac, good morning. I have 4 content pillars. So I have engage, entertain, educate, and promote, right? You don't need 5, you don't need 4, right? But you need to keep them so that like that. Remember, you're only making your life easier by having multiple content pillars, because it's going to be a variety of content that you are going to be known for, right? As you don't want to focus too many topics or dilute your content, right? So that's why I say keep it between 3 and 5, okay? You should then identify subtopics or topic clusters, right, that feed into the pillar, right? All of the content should then be linked internally to help build authority and create a linking strategy, okay? Take time to brainstorm at this stage, right? Not every idea will be a good one. So put the ideas down and then let them sit for a while. Evolve. Right? You need to like kind of like really, really strategize, right? And think about it and tell yourself, does this make sense? Am I gonna confuse them by posting this piece of content? Those are all things that you should be asking yourself before you are even posting any piece of content, okay? So here's a super simple framework that I recommend, right? And you don't have to write this down, right? Because I'm gonna add this I'm gonna add this live to my YouTube channel, so you can go ahead and watch the replay. So number 1, start by asking yourself, what do you love talking about, right? What gets you fired up? What can you talk about nonstop, right? Number 2, what does your audience need, right? Think about their pain points, what they struggle with, what are they trying to learn, right? What's keeping them kind of like stuck, paralyzed, right? And number 3, what do you offer? What product, services, or solution do you sell? Your content pillar should support what you're saying, okay? It needs to all correlate, right? Melissa, good morning. It needs to all correlate because it is very important, okay? And what results do you want? Do you want your content to lead somewhere? Do you want more leads? Do you want more course signups? Do you want more community members? Do you want people to start their journey with you? What is it that you want? Okay. So you need to kind of like, when you listen back to that replay, I want you to write down, I want you to these questions that I just gave you, I want you to write them down, and then I want you to answer them, right? As if you remember, you are your persona. You are your persona. So I want you to answer that for you, okay? Again, what do you love talking about? What gets you fired up? What can you talk about nonstop? Good morning, love, right? What does your audience need? Think about their pain points. What do they struggle with? And that means, what do you struggle with, right? What do you struggle with? Because remember, you are targeting your persona, which just happens to be you. What do you offer, right? What solution do you have to offer them that is gonna speak on their pain? Right? And it's going to help with the desires that they have to bring the desires to life, right? Okay. Grab a notebook when you do, write them down, and then go ahead and start circling the common themes that you see. And then boom, those are your potential content pillars, right? Don't be afraid to evolve your pillars either. What you talk about, thank you so much, Gwen, for my rose, right? What you talk about today might change as you grow, and that is okay. So let's just say that you focus a lot on mindset, right? You focus a lot on mindset, but you don't want to talk about mindset anymore. Then you do a shift. You can easily just archive that pillar and replace it with another one. Or maybe you have 4 pillars, and by archiving that one, by getting rid of that one, you stay with 3, and that's still fine. Because remember what I said, 3 to 5. Right? I'm going to give you an example of my content pillars for you guys to see exactly what I'm talking about and the kind of content, right, that I am creating under all these pillars. And let me just take a sip of my water, please hold. Okay. So I have 4 content pillars. I have engage, I have entertain, educate, and promote. Courtney, good morning. So under engage, right? The purpose of the engage pillar is that I want people engaging back with me, right? I want them to respond to the question, the poll, whatever I am putting out, right? And I'm going to give you an example where I use the engage kind of pillar. I use the engage pillar a lot in my stories, right? You know why? Because I want people to get a personal response. So let's just say that I added a poll, right, in my stories, and I say, what are your goals this week? Right? Or what is your favorite coffee? Or let's just say I posted a picture like I did yesterday. I posted a picture of my Starbucks order, right? Of my coffee, right? And I can just add a question and say, how do you order your coffee? Right? And then Chris is going to respond to me and say, I like a caramel macchiato. And then Gwen is going to respond to me, Odie, good morning. And Gwen is going to say, I just like a black hot coffee, no sugar. Okay. So I am going to respond to their response in a video format because I want them to get that personal touch, right? I want them to feel seen, and I want them to feel like I care about their response. I kid you not, this is exactly what I do in IG, guys. Whenever I do like a poll, a question, something like that, I'll go back and I say, hey Gwen, thank you so much for responding to my sticker, black coffee. And I'll say, I normally don't order black coffee at Starbucks, but when I get together on Sundays with my family, that is my go-to. I have black coffee, right? And then I'll respond to Chris and I'll say, hey Chris, oh my God, tell me why I love caramel macchiatos. Used to be like my favorite before. That was like my go-to coffee. But thank you so much for sharing. When I take the time, they're gonna like send me a heart, or they're gonna say thank you so much for responding, or whatever it is. Those are the kinds of connections and interaction, right, that you want to build with your audience. By taking the time, they're gonna be like, wow, she took the time. I didn't have to, right? But if I want to engage, right, I want to be very personal with you. So I am gonna directly respond via video message directly to you. Okay, so engage, you can do Q&As, you can do polls, you can do engagement stickers, you can do quotes and affirmation. Guys, if you know, right, quotes and affirmations, I don't know what it is, but they get a lot of engagement. Okay, IG only allows video message, right? No, you can text it too. Like, let's just say, for example, that, I'm looking like a hot mess and I don't want to respond video via message. So what I can do is reply back, right? Act like I'm going to respond back to their response. And I could just type text, like do text, a text response right on the screen and add it to the stories, right? And it automatically tags that person. Okay. So, girl, I got you. Tiff, I got you. Right? So quotes and affirmations, right? Daisy, good morning. You saw a post, right? You saw a quote about empowerment, and obviously your call to action is going to be, if you felt this, drop a heart emoji in the comments. If you resonate, drop a fire emoji in the comments, right? That is what quotes and affirmations do. They make people engage with you. Okay. And I'm all about engage. I love engaging with my community. So if you think about it, it was a no-brainer for engagement to be one of my pillars. Okay. Now let's dissect a little bit more entertainment, right? Entertainment is another of my content pillar. Kara, good morning. So under entertainment, you can do memes, your storytelling, you are doing personal posts, and you're bringing people behind the scenes, right? I don't know why, and you guys know this is very repetitive information that I'm telling you, but when I say personal posts, people feel like I am telling you to put your business out there. I would never ever say such thing. I want you to share whatever you feel comfortable in sharing. Okay, whatever you feel comfortable in sharing. I don't know what that looks like, right? But I also need you as a digital marketer to understand the power of storytelling. Like, storytelling is very powerful. Side note, right? I thought that storytelling, for me, it was scary because I'm like, wow, like I'm already like a face forward account and now I have to put my business out there. But when you don't take the time, right? When you don't take the time to storytell and tell people where were you before you started this journey or why you started this journey, they're never gonna really connect with you. They're never gonna really understand the pain and the desire. Am I making sense here, guys? Am I making sense? Please drop a yes. Somebody drop a yes if I am making sense here. Okay. When you guys don't story tell, people are never going to connect with you. Just share what you feel comfortable in sharing. Okay. If sometimes I go through something and it takes me a while, right? It takes me a while to share that information. But when I feel ready, I share it. Okay. So I want you to look at what you're going through, right? And share what you feel comfortable in sharing. Okay. It's going to take time. And I promise you that when you story tell, people are going to be like, wow, like I am going through the same. If you're able to handle yourself going through XYZ, I could do it too. So right there, they are seeing, right? They are relating themselves to you, right? And they start seeing themselves, right? In the transformation. Okay. And that is what we want. And that is the purpose why we storytell, right? Because when we storytell, right, we are opening the door for them to believe that they can do it too. Okay. So that is why it is very important. And also memes, right? Memes. A lot of people are confused when I say memes. So let's just say the Super Bowl. Perfect example. Every time the Super Bowl happens or the Super Bowl or the World Series or like a basketball tournament, whatever it is, guys, you already know that after that, people's reaction, they start turning those into memes. Right? They turn it into memes. And you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. Remember when Beyonce, like that trend with Beyonce's reaction when she won like Female Artist of the Year recently, right? Everybody was hopping on that trend, right? Because of the reaction, right? So I took that meme and I ran with it and I correlated it back to being a digital marketer, right? So that is how you can also entertain. If memes is not your thing, right? Then don't do it. I only want you hopping on trends. Odalisa, buenos dias. I only want you hopping on trends that make sense to you. Blanca, good morning, right? And then bring them behind the scenes. Where do you get inspired? Where do you batch create your content? Where do you go and just like take the time to work on your business, right? And then we have educate. You guys already know that I love educating. I love coming out here and serving you, right? Whatever you're struggling with, I'm going to educate you, right? Because we are going to get unstuck, right? So under educational content, you can educate people on the infographics of the digital marketing industry. Educate them and let them know how the digital marketing industry is going to be worth billions by 2026 and trillions by 2030. If you learn a tutorial, like let's just say that you learn how to go live faceless, hello, then go live faceless. Oh my God, you always have the great backgrounds, but this one, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I created them last night. I created this one last night, right? So all you have to do, right? All you have to do is like whatever you learn that made your life easier, make that into a tutorial, right? People were asking me so much, how do I do my cover photos? So what did I do? I turned that into a tutorial. Zaria, thank you for the follow. I turned that into a tutorial video and I posted it on my feed, right? So now when people say, hey, how do you create cover photos? I'm like, there's a video. Noemi, good morning, love. How's it going? Right, there's a video. Go watch the video. And that is what educational content is. Another educational post that you can create under educational is like if you see a trending audio. Thank you so much, Olalisa, my hype woman today. If you take the time, right? If you take the time to find like trending audios, then go ahead and let people know, sorry, I'm delayed. Don't worry, love. Take your time. I hope Ma is doing better. Fran, good morning. Happy Tuesday. So like I was saying, right, if educational content, right, if you find a trending audio, post it. Tell people, hop on this audio, it's trending. And maybe, take it a step further and let them know what kind of content, right, they should create behind that, right? What kind of content should they be creating, right? It could be, depending on the audio, if it's like a kind of like a mellow, they could story tell. If it's like a upbeat audio, let them know what kind of content. You can use this for a point of view, you can use this for educational, Jaira, good morning, whatever it is, but just go ahead and educate them. Because one thing you need to understand is that when you serve, thank you for sharing, when you serve, right, people see you as an authority figure. Thank you so much. Thank you. One second, I need to take a sip of my water. Whatever you become an expert, let me just say, a lot of people also struggle with adding a product to your stand store or a beacons. If you know how to add a product to your stand store or to your beacons, turn that into a tutorial. Record yourself in your laptop, right? And you don't even need to show your face. You are literally in your laptop walking people through on how to add a freebie, on how to add, I struggle with my stories. Not no more, right? You need to turn everything into educational. I want to learn how to put these backgrounds. Girl, I got you. Fran, if you go into my YouTube channel, right, there is a live that I did on how to create the backgrounds and then how to add them on TikTok. Like I walk you through the green screen that you need to select, right? And then how to add the cover, the background photo, right? And then you flip the camera so then it won't show you. Okay. Awesome. You are most welcome. And they're titled. So, you'll just go under create faceless background and it should be there. And last but not least, right, I have promote. Again, you are most welcome. Anyone in the online space, right, that is reselling a course, promotional is going to be one of your content pillars. So what products do you offer, right? What are testimonials? What are people saying about the product that you have? How has your product been able to help other people, right? Those are all things you can talk about. What are testimonials, right? What are people saying? That is all you can showcase under the promotional. You don't just have to go out here and just like shove the course down their throat or say you need this, right? You need to bring them on that transformation as to how it helped you, what you learned, what high income skills do you know now that helped you because of your product. I need to get your hooks, guy, because I'm not getting many views and follows. Girl, listen, you already see I am constantly bragging about all the testimonials that I get from people. So if you get it, you are going to start seeing the views that you want, girl, because it's all about the hooks, honey, to stop the scroll. So I know you're going to love it when you get it. Okay, so those, can I ask how long you've been doing? Of course, I've been doing digital marketing for a little over a year now. A little over a year. But can I just say that my first 6 months, I made no money and I had no idea what I was doing. Okay, so I can honestly say that even though I've been in this space long enough, I really took this business serious and really took the time to learn. I want to say in February of 2024 when I decided to invest in myself one more time. Okay, let's see. Sophia said, why can't we see your face? Are you doing this faceless instead? I can absolutely, if you want to see my face. Okay, let's see. Sophia said, why can't we see your face? Are you doing this faceless instead? I can absolutely, if you want to see my face, I can absolutely show my face, right? So I like to do my live faceless because I started this trend, right? Where a lot of people, Nena, good morning. A lot of people are afraid of going live. So I am here teaching you that you can most certainly go live without the need of showing your face. I started a movement. Thank you, Chris. I don't know why every time I can never find the word, but I started a movement, right? To teach people that you can come out here and serve your people without the need of having to show your face. Let me make sure I do not miss the, do you work full time? I want to focus on my party business and digital marketing. Yes, I work a full-time job. Right. I work a full-time regular job, right? Monday through Fridays. And I am also a mom. So it's definitely doable. So I do my digital marketing business less than half time and have been able to do really good. I feel like I would, if I had more time to dedicate to my business, I would absolutely be thriving. But I am okay because I enjoy what I do for my full-time job. And I also enjoy this business, right? But the goal eventually is to just do this, not just do this business, but have multiple streams of income. Okay. So it is definitely possible. Ivy, good morning. Okay, so I am going to flip my camera to continue, right? It's just here teaching people, can't. Okay, I want to quit my full-time job so bad, so it's nerve-wracking. Girl, you got this, right? I wouldn't recommend quitting your job right away, right? I do recommend just like starting the business the right way. Isma, good morning. And the right way is with somebody that you know that is going to be there to support you. I struggled a lot at the beginning of my journey because I didn't have someone giving me the direction, okay? I didn't have anyone giving me direction, but now I have learned, I have done so much research and I have educated myself so much that I feel unstoppable, to be honest with you. And I want to share that knowledge with everyone because this is possible for anyone. You just really need to take the time, right, to learn the information. I saw the roadmap exclusives course and I use Pillar.io as my platform. I love that. That's awesome. Thank you so much for my heart, me angel. Thank you. Jody is the right mentor. Just saying. Thank you so much, Noemi. Norma, good morning. Okay, so common content pillars mistake. Of course, I can't go anywhere without talking about that, right? I have about 10 minutes left, so I want to make sure I get all in, right? So really quickly, let's talk about what not to do, right? What not to do, because we're not out here being messy, right? Don't choose random topics just because they're trending, right? If it doesn't fit your brand, is a big no-no. Thank you so much. She seems, I am great. I am, girl. I am. Thank you. Don't have too many pillars, right? 3 to 5 is the sweet spot, right? Don't just pick them and forget them. Your content should connect back to them regularly, right? Don't make them too broad. Lifestyle is not a pillar unless you break it down. What part of lifestyle, mom life, wellness, budgeting, you need to really hone it down, right? And just to wrap it up, right? Because I want to give you guys some time for questions, right? That was a whole masterclass on content pillars, right? And I hope you're feeling a little more clear about what they are and to start mapping your content pillars and why they're so important. So here's your homework, right? Because obviously I'm going to give you homework. I want you to write your answers to the questions that I asked, right? And I'm going to recap them quickly. And don't worry about writing these down, guys. Remember, I'm going to add this live to my YouTube channel. And if you don't follow me on YouTube, it is linked in my TikTok. So go ahead and follow me where any teaching style lives that I do, I add them. Good morning, love. Good morning, Ty. I add them to my YouTube channel. Okay, so again, what do you love talking about? Right? Thank you so much for my roses. What does your audience need? What do you offer? What results do you want, right? So circle your themes, right? And from there, you are probably going to identify what your content pillars are, right? Tomorrow, we are going to be doing part 2 of the content pillars, right? Where we are going to dig a little bit deeper into content pillars mistakes to avoid. And I'm bringing the heat up with real examples, right? Content pillar breakdown per specific personas, right? So I feel like it's important for me to give you examples because if you don't have an example to run with, then you're going to still be lost and you're not going to know how to apply everything that I am out here teaching you. I'm going to tell you the personas that I have for tomorrow. We're going to have burnt out working mom, obviously, because that's me, right? We're going to have empty nesters caring for elderly parents because I know Lucinda requested that one. We're going to have empty nesters seeking freedom. We're also going to have a 9-to-5 worker. We are going to have realtors seeking financial freedom. I'm going to have single mom and stay-at-home mom. And last but not least, Gen Xer. Okay, so those are all the example personas that I am kind of going to bring you what I think content pillars, you need if you're that specific, if you're targeting those specific personas, just an idea to kind of like give you because I don't want you stuck, right? I don't want you stuck. So I feel like if I give you an idea, you might say, okay, I could work with this. This is good. I can run with this. Okay. So remember, make sure you're following me and turn on your live reminders. I already know that my live for tomorrow is already scheduled. Remember that because I am in the office this week, I do need to jump on a little early and leave early, obviously, because I have to drive there. So I'm going to be on for 6:55 a.m. tomorrow. And yes, I will also be adding it to my YouTube channel, right? So you don't want to miss it. Michelle, thank you so much for the follow. You won't want to miss it. We're going to just dive deeper into the strategy and I'm showing you how to turn those pillars into actual content. So I'm going to open up the floor and leave the last 5 minutes for any questions that anyone else has. Any questions? And I hope it was helpful. If you have any questions, I hope my content pillars kind of was good example. Ask away. The floor is open for you to ask away. Or was this helpful? Was this helpful for you guys? Let me know. Or if you guys have any topics that you want to learn, you can drop them in the comments. I love doing at least 2 teaching styles lives a week. So if you think of anything, let me know. Yay! I love to hear that, Odalisa. Thank you. I love to hear that. Does it make sense? You guys are still lost. Did something didn't make sense? Yes, very. I love to hear that. I love to hear that. I love to hear that. Thank you. Thank you for my heart puffs. Thank you. I'm setting my alarm so I don't miss it. I love it. Thank you. Thank you. Yay. Awesome. Anything else? Roxanne, good morning. How's it going? Like I said, the minute the live is done, when I'm going to save it, obviously, into I'll save it and then I'll add it. So give me at least It's gonna be in my YouTube channel in like 2 hours. Tanya, good morning. Thank you, Noemi, for my heart puff. Thank you. How's it going? Any other questions for me? Nothing. If not, I will jump off. Good morning. I just went live. No, wait. Awesome, Tanya. Yay. It's going good. I'm doing good, Roxanne. How are you doing? We spoke about content pillars, ladies. So I know you missed it. But definitely go watch it in my YouTube channel, because this was a really good live to kind of like help you with the kind of content you should be creating, right? So that you never run out of ideas. So definitely go catch it later on today if you missed it. Okay. Anything at all? Going once, going twice. If not, like I said, I'm going to jump off. Don't forget, if you want to listen to part 2 of content pillars, I'll watch. Okay. Yay. So I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you so much for stopping by, and I will be sure to over deliver tomorrow for part 2. Have a wonderful day. Bye. You are most welcome. Thank you, Ty. Bye.